Alright, welcome back to Pac-Manufactured, a series all about Pac-Man clothes. In this episode we're taking a look at Froggies, developed by Webfoot Technologies and released for the PC in 2006. Now, wow, 2006 and it looks like this. That's quite impressive at how archaic such a late released game can look. But yeah, so this is an obvious Pac-Man clone with a 3D look to it that reminds me an awful lot of the Sega Saturn game Bug. That's a very strange game to be taking influence from, especially for a Pac-Man clone. But yeah, it can't be denied that it looks very much like Bug, with its thin, floating maze-like platforms. Yeah, and 2D character art. But it plays like a Pac-Man game, so it is very much a Pac-Man clone in that sense. You have unique maze designs for every stage in the game, which is one of the things I do really like about this, is that, you know, each stage is its own self-contained little thing, its own individual design, and it has unique looking artwork for each stage as well, which is a really nice thing. You can save your progress, which is a really nice little thing as well, and you do have a use of a jump ability. And the reason why that has been put in there is because, as you can see, the game needs to scroll in order to show you all of the map at any given point. You can't see the entire thing locked to one screen, and as a result you can't play it strategically, so developers have been kind enough to give you a jump so that you can jump over enemies that you couldn't see as they quickly approach from your screen. I say quickly because this is a very leisurely paced Pac-Man clone, not a lot of challenge to this whatsoever. I didn't feel any sort of threat from the monsters the entire time. The only mistakes you're ever going to make on this are the ones that unfortunately you couldn't plan for because you couldn't see them coming off screen because the games had to scroll. So that is the main challenge in this, unfortunately. The actual monsters themselves are pretty slow, not very aggressive whatsoever, and easily dispatched because, yeah, the power-up time is quite generous in this, I've got to say. One of the things that really annoys me about this is that despite what the graphics are doing, it'll always call the collectibles pellets. Now that's obvious what that's supposed to be for people like us that like Pac-Man and know that this is a clone of Pac-Man, but they're never pellets. They're often different things. It's always a random different object, and it just annoys me that they're always called pellets. I know what it's supposed to be getting at, but call it the thing it is, you know? Like, if you're going to change all the graphics, then at least put in the effort to name the objects that you're supposed to be collecting the actual thing that they are, so it's clear what you're supposed to be collecting. Yeah, very odd choice there, but, you know, I get what they were doing. It's just, it makes it incredibly obvious that this is a Pac-Man clone by calling it pellets. It's fine. I don't hate it. Like, I don't think it's challenging enough to be aggravating, but at the same time it's not unique enough to offer anything different. It's very much just another Pac-Man clone. If you're looking for something to waste your time on, this will absolutely do the job, but if you're looking for something to add something to the Pac-Man formula that you've never seen before, then this isn't going to do that, unfortunately. It just offers new graphics, a new presentation style, and it's fine. It's absolutely fine. There's a few drawbacks in the fact that you have to scroll to see all of the map, and I'm not a big fan of the way the camera is positioned so low. It means that, yeah, you really can't see a lot of the objects an awful lot of the time because there'll be, like, environmental details that, like, hide pellets and stuff like that, which is not a great choice, I've got to say. And then, like, when you use the power pellet, it says party time on screen for absolutely ages and blocks an awful lot of, you know, the on-screen action, which is another, you know, visual choice that I think could have probably been dialed back somewhat. Yeah, I don't hate it. It's not a terrible Pac-Man clone by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not doing anything particularly different outside of its visuals. And even then, it's not a particularly great-looking game for a game released in 2006. So, I could only recommend this as just a time waster. If you like a bit of Pac-Man, and you've got this on your PC, this will absolutely, like, tick the boxes. It's an enjoyable experience in that regard. But that's the only appeal it has, is to people that like Pac-Man. So, yeah, if you're happy to play a clone, then this is fine, but I wouldn't recommend it over others out there.